Earn more points if you split the room. And who creates the most divisive dimensions will win.
Why? How much can you know about yourself? You've never been in a fight.
Wait.
What's left to hope for?
It's hard for a rat to find.
It wouldn't be so hard to find if you weren't so picky.
I drink your milkshake.
Do you think that's funny?
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm of course your host tonight, Mega Mike, the Criterion Man. We have a super fun stream planned for you all. It is Split the Room Criterion Edition. So how this stream works is we're playing a game. We have our 6 panel members that are going to be participating and trying to win that Split the Room trophy by the end, of course. And we have different rounds. We go through 5 main rounds where we vote on a certain title they think should go to Criterion or not, and they try to get a divisive option there, so it's controversial and it gets split down the middle. A 3-3 vote gets the maximum points for a round, which is 3. A 4-2 is 2 points. 5-1, 1 point, and 0-6, which doesn't happen all the time because it's hard to do. But when you do it, it's hilarious. So you get awarded 0 points for that round. But yeah, that's basically how it works. If we get a tie by the end of the 5 rounds, when we look at the totals, there are overtime rules, but we will cross that bridge if it happens. But other than that, we're going to have a fun night. Before I bring out this amazing panel, let me just put a reminder up here. If you love Criterion, drink that like and subscribe. Like it's a milkshake to support the channel, of course. If we'd like a comment read live tonight, get your eyes wide open with some super chats. And also, if you'd like to help choose a future Split the Room topic, consider some high tier memberships. And yeah, just have a great time watching and talking the movies, of course. But yeah, let's get everybody out here. Everybody, are you all ready tonight to play some Split the Room?
Let's do this.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
All right, so we won't waste any time. We're going to dive right into this. And Steve is going first because he's a veteran of Split the Room now. Yeah. He has played before, so I have extreme confidence tonight in Steve. So, okay. Steve, hopefully I didn't hype you up too much.
No pressure.
No pressure on you. But what are we going to start with here?
Okay, well, so Criterion's not really known for their horror movies necessarily, but there are some classic horror movies, and I would say with Criterion, it's definitely not. There aren't that many movies that are that far from being on the collection as far as great movies. It's basically about them getting the license for the movie. That's as far as it goes. There's been so many titles in recent years that I couldn't believe that they have. And Mike wanted us to be controversial tonight, and this one's not really that controversial. But this title was released in 1978. And this one it was in the collection in the Laserdisc era of Criterion from director John Carpenter. It's the movie Halloween, which I think from the National Film Registry. So it's definitely not that far off. I think it's really more about them not getting. They had to get the license for this, and I don't know if they'd ever be able to do that. But this movie would belong back in the collection. I think as far as a classic movie, it's not extreme horror necessarily, but it's just a classic movie that. I think it definitely could work in this collection again, but again, so it's basically just the limitation is them not being able to get a license for it, and because it'd probably be too expensive to get, and then so many people own this movie already. So I think for this, I think I wonder what you guys think about the Halloween as far as being a potential Criterion release. I don't know if it would ever happen, but what do you guys think of it though?
And so this opens it up to a little bit of a debating scenario. So if anybody wants to jump in and say something, whether to play some offense or defense here to try to help sway some votes, you can do that before we do get to voting. I'm the host, so I'll just say my 2 cents on this because I'm not voting anyway. But I mean, Halloween, that's my favorite horror movie of all time. And once again, Criterion, not known for horror, but if you are going to do a horror title, you got to go with Halloween. I mean, come on. Popularize the slashers. What else would you do with that? So
Night of the Living Dead. I mean, Eyes Without a Face. And there's definitely some horror titles. Carnival of Souls. I mean, those movies can fit the collection. This one too, but this one may be a little bit too mainstream, possibly for them now. And like I said, getting the license might be difficult for them to get. But But I think it belongs in. It'd be a good addition to the collection, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic horror film that, is a tentpole horror title. I mean, it's one of those, horror titles that really defines the genre. So, I could definitely see them potentially justifying that, but that would be a surprise,
Well,
I mean, it was already in the collection before on Laserdisc.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, pay the money. Does Universal own the rights to it?
Right.
Right. Just pay them. Just give me that one. I'll take the first Halloween. Just give me that one.
Yeah. None of the sequels, just the first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
Just
Halloween 3. That's what I think.
Yeah, Halloween 3. You can't leave that.
You know what I think?
Halloween 3 off.
You know what I think though? I think Halloween though found its perfect home at Scream Factory. To be honest, they gave it a boatload of features. It came with hella discs, came with reversible artwork. I don't think Criterion would put really the effort into giving us this kind of juicy extras that a Scream Factory would. Maybe we'd probably just get like a clamshell case and that's it. But the fact that we get this a really hard shell case, we get the reversible artwork, I just think that Scream Factory was the right home for Halloween.
Yeah, and also I'd like to add, kind of with their track record, they like to put out a lot of debut films. So I feel like Assault on Precinct 13 might be more succinct for them to do if they're going to do a John Carpenter film ever. That's probably what they're going to do if they do it. So
it is true. But I mean, Dark Star is technically it's a student film, but Assault on Precinct that movie is really more of his debut. I think the other one was more of a student film. Which I agree with you. That is really more of his, and they do like to do a lot of debut movies like Thief from Michael Mann.
Main Streets just recently. So
Main Street, yeah, that's kind of one of those early ones, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, yeah.
All right.
So I'm read the room here.
Writing down their answer. So go ahead and write down your yes or no, or if you already have your sign ready, we'll get ready for that reveal. Steve's calculating right now. He's thinking, how's he going to
John said nothing. Nathan said, John's very.
I am not a horror guy
right now.
At all.
I'm
not a horror guy.
Look at my shirt.
Wow.
But I have seen Halloween.
All right. Everybody got their answer?
Yep.
All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Reveal. Ooh, okay.
Oh,
split the room, right?
Split down the middle. Yeah, well done.
You even said no yourself.
I was going to go yes, and I thought, no, I'm reading the room.
Wow, I don't think I hyped you up enough, Steve. I mean, came to play this time.
Yeah.
3 points. Wow.
Definitely don't be afraid to change your vote. If you read the room, change your vote. If you feel like it's going the other way, you can do that.
But that's a fantastic way to start. So, Johnny, can we follow that up?
All right. Kind of to piggyback on what Steve was saying earlier, how Criterion, they would like to kind of, and Nathan said it too, to give directors like their first film, put it out on Criterion first. So I'm going to go with the 1994 debut of Kevin Smith, Clerks.
See, that was almost on the list too.
And I grew up, in the late 80s, the early 90s, I understand having to go to work and deal with people that come in and just tax you mentally and physically. And this actually, he's already been in the Criterion collection before.
Chasing Amy, right?
Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
And why wasn't Clerks in there? So Clerks definitely needs to be in there. It is one of the best, I guess, Gen X films that came out in that era. You can lump it in with Pulp Fiction and Singles, I believe, and Reality Bites. But yeah, Clerks my choice. Criterion, get on it.
Yeah, it's also 30th anniversary of that movie as well.
Yep,
94.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if they could do a Kevin Smith and Jay and Silent Bob kind of like a special edition of it.
Right.
With, how like there's a barf bag and Pink Flamingos. How about just that's rolled in like a blunt or something?
That's right. I said the same thing about
only that at Barnes and Noble for sure.
Yeah, I think I've said that about Clerks as well. I think that belongs in the collection. I believe, in my opinion, but That's
100%.
an independent, Miramax film, independent kind of film.
Yeah, especially for what it stands for. The film, I feel like Criterion's like perfect for it.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on Clerks?
Fume.
All right, well, let's vote then. Everybody getting a vote?
Okay, here we go.
I love how Steve is taking every round seriously. He's like, let me calculate real quick.
Adding it up.
All right, everybody got a vote?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, reveal.
Ooh.
2 no's, 4 yeses. That is
Johnny,
so pretty.
I like it, Johnny. I like your gameplay there. Voted no.
So, a lot of everybody's going, yeah, it should. I'm like,
How many points is that, Mike?
I know, Johnny, you were throwing everybody off a little bit, huh?
How many points is that when you do that?
That's 2 points, 4-2. So 2 points, which is still very good. Yeah, if you can get 2 points almost every round, you can still totally win this. All right, Nate.
Okay, so this one is not going to be that. This is going to be like the start of the obvious stuff for me. If anyone's seen my channel, they know how much I love this movie. It's the debut film, so I mean, just going on the debut of stuff. We also mentioned horror a little bit earlier, so why not get a contemporary horror piece in here? This should be pretty obvious. It's The Witch from 2015. I think this is Robert Eggers' like hallmark as a filmmaker, is somebody who's really pays close attention to detail. And honestly likes to put interesting psychological horror films out there, among other things that he's doing. So, because I'm excited for Nosferatu as well. But anyway, The Witch, classic movie. I think if you're a contemporary horror fan, like this is the start of a lot of people, like in the A24 kind of realm, to go that route.
Nice.
So that's kind of why I would put The Witch as like the start of that.
Now, does A24 have many films on Criterion?
A couple.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Uncut Gems is one.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem like a movie that would fit artistically with Criterion, even though it's not very old. It still kind of has that old filmmaking vibe to it. So,
yeah.
Anybody else a Witch fan over here?
I am.
Yeah.
I did like
I've only seen it once, though. I picked up the 4K and I've only watched it once. I haven't gone back yet.
It's pretty creepy, for sure.
It's a good
I have
controversial
a black
pick.
tattoo on my body. So.
Yeah, Nathan, is it Anya Taylor-Joy or is it Anya Taylor-Joy? Because I've
Anya,
heard
yeah.
Anya.
Which she was great in Furiosa, by the way. If you
that movie's so good. Oh,
I know.
So good.
I hate that it's tanking at the box office like that. It's just,
I know, me too.
So sad.
Everything is right now, I think, pretty much.
That's the times, yeah.
Fortunately.
Yeah, it was hard to take friends to see it. I was like, "Hey, you want to see Furiosa?" He's like, "What? The girl movie?" I'm like, "No, it's not." The girl movie, goddamn it.
It's Chris Hemsworth fitted.
She has 30 lines of dialogue in that movie.
I had to see it by myself in IMAX at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, "Oh, so good."
All right, everybody writing down an answer for The Witch?
Yeah.
No.
All right. 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh,
Damn it.
yes, right. Wait, no, Nate should vote no against this. So, right? So, one no.
Room. No.
One no.
Listen,
right
I definitely think yes, but in this circumstance, that's why I said it's the easiest one first. I'm going to get that out of the way and start it off.
But that's good that you at least voted no, because some people would vote yes for theirs and would have gotten a 0 in that.
I've done that, yeah.
You read it at that point where you're like, yep, maybe we should go no.
But yes, definitely yes. I agree with everybody.
All right, James. Hopefully we do not follow the pattern and get a 0 on this. So
I hope not.
You're up.
All right, so I'm going to go with one of the most culturally significant films of all time. And it is a film that really needs no introduction. I'm going to go with Star Wars.
Okay.
Now, the way I would want this to enter the collection would be not as Episode 4 New Hope, but as it was originally. This is Star Wars, not Episode 4 New Hope, but Star Wars. And for it to be put out in its original theatrical presentation. So George Lucas giving special permission to Criterion to have the original theatrical version of Star Wars on 4K Ultra HD, just as Star Wars in a beautiful box set. No other, sequels, just the original Star Wars movie that just one of the most culturally significant films of all time,
Right. That would make so much money right there.
Yeah.
And I think it would get more people in the collecting. If people heard
none of the new effects,
the only way to get it, if that's
whoever shot first or whatever, it's all just the way it was originally seen in the theaters in 1977.
Now to get Disney to sign off on that.
Yep.
I mean, it would open up people though to physical media and introduce them to Criterion if they've never heard of that boutique label. That is a really good choice right there. Oh my gosh, that would change everything. That'd be awesome.
Is that the one Fox title that Disney didn't give to Sony or didn't sell to Sony, or for them to? I don't think they would let. I don't know. I really wish the specialized edition, as opposed to the ones that were kind of illegal, the bootlegs, whatever. I'd love to see that happen, but
Yeah, I think it's all because of the deal that George Lucas did, right? Like, doesn't he have something where they can't even release it, even if they wanted to? There's something with that contract where it's like, no. He says these are the only editions that exist now.
Yeah,
even though everybody knows it's not.
He says the original film is gone now. It doesn't even have the original negative anymore.
Yeah. So it would take an act of Congress for it to happen, but I would love to somehow have this special deal where Criterion could do that. But
that's true. I mean, it can be done too. I don't know if anyone's seen that 4K 77 thing, the Project 4K 77. They have like reels, and it looks fantastic. So an original like theatrical print would do really well with it, like a new transfer. So.
Oh yeah,
I have the bootlegs, but they're kind of scenes kind of added in. It doesn't look that great. Yeah.
Allegedly.
I don't have it here.
So so that's it.
All right. So Star Wars going to the Criterion edition. Everybody writing their answer.
Yep.
I'm like, this is an easy one for me if I was voting. All right. 1, 2, 3. Reveal.
James.
Oh,
three guesses. Wow.
Nice.
What's the room?
The room. I was going to do yes, and I thought, I don't want to.
Now the people that said no, I'm curious about here.
I mean, I really would like that, but I was thinking of getting the most points. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Nate, you're like, no, you don't want no Star Wars.
Well, no, I mean, like, I'm rewatching them all right now, so I mean, I'm a big fan. Have been my whole life. I think it's definitely doable, but yeah, with the rights and everything, it's just like there's so much red tape that it's like I'm like, no, it's probably not possible. So
it's just like too much about us.
Went reality with it.
What about you, Steve? Because you said no too.
Yeah, it's I just don't think it would be possible. I mean, I'd love to see it though, and especially the original.
Know, we got Wall-E on Criterion. That's
right.
Disney. All things are possible.
That's when Disney. That's when they changed management. After that, they fired the other guy that did it, and Bob Iger took over again. So we're gonna have that happen again. Give our big films to Criterion.
All right, John, you're up.
All right. So on the website, Criterion's website, this is their mission statement. The Criterion Collection has been dedicated to publishing important, classic, and contemporary films from around the world. So some of my picks are based on their mission statement. So this first one, I'm going with The Dark Knight. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a major comic book movie fan. I don't have all of the MCU or DC films in my collection. But this film was the first superhero film to ever cross $1 billion. Again, we're going with contemporary significance. 8 Academy Award nominations. Heath Ledger did win one for this one. Unbelievable stacked cast, director, cast, so many Academy Awards between them all. I think special feature wise, one of the things that bums me out about Criterion films sometimes is when they wait too long to release it, you have no one left from the cast living or the director living. You have Chris Nolan in his prime. You have so much of the cast. Obviously, we don't have Heath. So much of the cast still available to do commentary, to do more interviews. And I don't think there's been a release of this that has also released maybe additional footage of Heath. I know for me, when I saw the film, I've never seen a film more than once in theater, the same film. I saw this 3 times in IMAX, and any moment Heath wasn't on the screen, I wanted him on the screen. So any like test footage, anything, I think people would love to see his process of how he got to this character. So yeah, The Dark Knight. I wouldn't want to see the floodgates open and Criterion start pumping out comic book movies per se, but I think this one changed everything. It became the gold standard of superhero films, and it wasn't a silly comic book movie. It was a legit, serious film that happened to be about Batman. Anyway, so yeah, The Dark Knight.
I love that choice, especially with the special features. I don't double dip, but if you gave me some new special features, I would absolutely. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the only superhero movie that has an acting Oscar win. You know?
Yeah.
Did Logan not win anything?
I don't know.
For acting?
Not
it
acting.
won for script, right? I think it was script.
Something, yeah. I'm just thinking of the ones that would probably be in this conversation.
Didn't Black Panther 2?
No.
That was wasn't that for costumes, was it?
Or music or something like
Makeup
that.
and costumes, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Angela Bassett was nominated.
Yeah, oh, she was not. Okay, I thought she won. Okay.
But for acting, The Dark Knight,
yeah,
that'd be awesome. That'd be so cool.
No, Joker got it.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix won.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That is right. Oh, that would be another great one for the Criterion edition right there. Oh,
wow.
Good.
That's
kind of hard.
I mean, I look at The Dark Knight as one of those superhero movies that is not just a great superhero movie; it's a great movie. Period.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even for people that may not be, superhero movie fans, it's just a great movie. Period.
Yeah, it's a great crime drama.
It transcends
the
genre.
godfather of the superhero genre, right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, with that, I mean, you take out Batman and Joker and place somebody else in there, and I mean, it's still a captivating story.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, everybody writing that answer. All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, two yeses right there. So that is still 2 points. Nice.
Great movie, John. But
I love it. I would have been a yes in that for sure.
I was reading the room on that one. So.
Let Batman Begins more.
Yeah.
I gave James some points in the last one. So
And Rises is my personal favorite, but I know
really
I'm on a little island with that one. That's okay.
Wow. Tom Hardy and his.
I love my island with Begins. So
I freaking love Rises. Rises is my favorite movie of all time. Dark Knight is my second favorite. So.
Wow.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, I love Rises. Yeah, give me that movie all day.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right, Mockbuster.
Okay, my pick. This is always this. I'm gonna continue with the horror because let me some horror. This film is always brought up. This is the filmmaker's movie. Every time they ask a big filmmaker, "Hey, what's your favorite horror movie?" They always say this film, what this movie stands for, how low budget it is, and how popular it became, and how much it means to horror films in general. I'm going with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I think what it stands for, how run and gun it was. It's like I think it's perfect for the Criterion.
Low budget, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Low budget film that was it Toby Hooper's first film, I think, or
yeah,
it's one of those early ones, yeah.
And that's even more classic than Halloween, right?
Older,
Because I was thinking the channel did Night of the Living Dead, and that's also like in that same kind of sphere. So I was like, okay,
right.
That is such a cool edition you pulled up, though, Mockbuster. I'm like that.
This is a slipcover edition.
Yeah.
I know they did a steel edition, but I had to import this to Canada.
Well,
I have the import too from the UK. So
Wow, and I'm like, I walked by it in Best Buy. It was like half
Every-
off. I'm still like, I'm okay. I got it away.
I'll get it later. Best Buy stopped selling movies altogether.
yeah, I saw it for the first time about a year and a half ago and was just blown away by it. I'm like, wow.
Low budget,
it
yeah.
stays with you.
For as gritty and
Yes.
low budgety, it's still an
Mhm.
effective film.
Grungy, and it's just
It's
Oh,
also
God.
kind of gorgeous at the same time. Like just how
Mhm.
it's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
It's shot really, really well. So
And so, yeah, and psychologically, it like I remember watching this as a kid, and then watching it recently, I thought it was like this gory, like most glorious movie I've ever seen. And then I watch it back, and it's like really subtle, but the psychological impact of the kills kind of like stays with you more than just like a generic slash or like a decapitation or something.
All right, everybody writing their answer.
Let's see.
This will be an interesting one.
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Show. Ooh, 4 yeses, 2 no,
Okay, good,
2 points.
Got 2 points.
Okay.
That's weird, but yes. Move again.
Awesome. Well, we'll take a look and kind of recap this here. So let me kind of zoom in a little bit for me. And after our first round, we have Steve and James in the lead with 3 points. Johnny, Platex 2, Mockbuster 2 points, and Nate with 1 point, but that is perfectly okay. Still a lot of rounds to be played, so anybody can still win. I've seen tons of people come back from a 1-point start. So, all right. Everybody ready for round 2 now? All right, Steve, you got to keep it going. You got a 3 on the first one. I want to see another split the room here.
All right, so we know Martin Scorsese has a lot of movies in the collection now. He's getting more and more, Mean Streets and After Hours, just in recent years. But this one's a real classic movie from 1976. It's written by Paul Schrader. The movie starring Robert De Niro, and it's a Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver. I mean, it's like National Film Registry type movies of the classic movies, Library of Congress type movies. One of the great ones. I don't know if they can ever get the license for this one either, but this is a kind of a low budget sort of movie. But was it Columbia? There's a I think this one would be great in the collection. But just like I don't know, I had considered talking about another movie that I think would be even less likely, but would be Casino, and I thought a Taxi Driver would make even more sense. Casino's a little bit mainstream. This one was kind of in the 70s, like kind of the gritty 70s kind of look to it. 1976. I think this one could work. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, if you put Casino there instead, you could have had the most F-bombs in the collection.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Is that true? Oh, okay.
I think Mean Streets. I don't know. I thought Casino could work, but I thought that's a little too mainstreamy and hard to get a license for that one too. But
yeah, I mean, I love that film. It's one of my favorites on Marty. I mean, it's so good. De Niro's great in it. I mean, Sybil Shepherd, Jodie Foster. I mean, they're terrific.
The only thing is
Love
we've
the
already
music.
gotten
music, yeah.
Soundtrack's fantastic. Yeah.
we've already gotten a couple 4Ks though, right? With the Columbia Classics, and then they're doing a steelbook. The steelbook just came out, or it's coming out.
Yeah, I got the 4K from that Columbia set, and I got a previous Blu-ray. So, but if Criterion put out a nice 4K edition with some news features, I would
let me get
that one up too.
That would
A little triple
double feature with King of Comedy.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
And then you can put the Joker in the collection because that's what the movies are combined.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. John, your thoughts?
Like
Throwing his hand on anyone.
Any De Niro, anytime. I love De Niro all the time. Yeah,
That's yes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right, everybody ready to answer?
Yep.
All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Two nose.
Two nose. All right.
That's right.
Points on that. Yeah, I was just thinking a whole like Martin Scorsese set would be cool.
Yeah.
Like if we could get like 5 Scorsese films in there, you know, a couple of the classics, a couple of the mainstream new ones, like a Wolf of Wall Street in there, you know.
That would be the number one F-bomb movie. It would.
That's what it'll be called, the F-bomb collection by Scorsese.
There you go. Casino and Wolf of Wall Street and Mean Street. You know,
there you go.
There in there.
Good fellows. Yeah.
All right, Johnny.
All right. Once again, piggybacking off of Steve, this director's already got some in the Criterion collection, and this, to me, is his masterpiece. I don't know why. Well, no, I know why it hasn't gotten a 4K release, and maybe Criterion could do it if they were to ever get the rights. And it's The Fly.
Yeah.
Cronenberg, yeah.
To this day, the effects in this are still the best I've ever seen. Just how, I mean, and I don't know how Jeff Goldblum did not get nominated for an Academy Award for this. The story still holds up. My wife, she refuses to watch it because she says it's just too gross. And I'm like, it's a love story, April. It's not a horror movie. It's a love story.
Yeah.
You know,
tragic.
For those, you know, growing up in, you know, in the 80s and whatnot, you know, seeing people who kind of look like that. I mean, the whole AIDS thing was going around, and you really didn't want to get around them. And it just, this is my favorite Cronenberg film I've ever seen, and this is desperate to 4K. And Criterion, if you're listening, just do this, please. I won't ask for anything else. Just give me The Fly on 4K.
See, my only hesitation is Scream Factory has a Blu-ray right there. They've done a Fly box set.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Scream Factory still has some rights to it, or maybe not to the 4K. I don't know. But I wonder.
It's Fox. I mean, Fox owns it, or Brooks. Mel Brooks may own it. But.
Yeah, that's a great movie. I think that's the only Cronenberg title I've still seen, because I hear the other Cronenberg titles are a little bit out there.
I like Videodrome.
Yeah, Videodrome is my favorite of his.
That movie grows on you. Like, if you the first time you see it, you may not like Videodrome, and then the second time you see it, it's like, wow, it's so much better. And the effects are kind of dated in a lot of ways, but this is the quotable lines in that movie. And he has a Crash in the collection already.
That's one of my favorites.
Naked Launch.
That's an acquired taste.
Yeah, Naked Launch is definitely an acquired taste. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's right.
And we got Tim shouting out saying, one of the best possible Criterion panels that could be assembled up on screen. Thank you so much, Tim.
Welcome back, buddy.
Tim,
don't go that far.
I had to bring that comment up. I'm like, we can't leave that comment.
Hello, chat. Hello, Dell, and everyone.
Tim is the man.
Oh yeah, we got an amazing audience in here. We got Dell in the chat, of course. We got
Dell.
Blues in here. I mean, so many great people in the chat tonight. We got Adrian, who is always here. There we go. Adrian's watching Spider-Man.
We'll have
that right here on Taco, of course. Man, what a great audience tonight. Eddie's films and stuff. I mean, wow.
Okay.
We even got Ghostface in here, right? Scream 7.
Scream 7. The film Scream 7 is right here.
All right. So everybody writing their answer?
Got it.
All right. 1, 2, 3. What do we got?
Damn it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. 4
The
yes, 2 no's, 2. Yep. There we go. Johnny, you're on roll with the 2s right there. 2 2s so far. No, 2s are good. Yeah, 2s are definitely very solid.
Better than 1.
Yep, and a lot better than 0.
Better than none, yeah.
All right, Nate, you're up.
Well, that's a good segue because this next one might be a whole 0 here. I don't know. But this is going piggybacking on what John said earlier about the mission statement from Criterion. Thinking about the cultural relevance of things like this, like defining generations, is a really, really big deal. And movie from my childhood, the late '90s, which I know I'm a youngin. So, but you know, this movie is really impactful and is still one of the biggest franchises like of all time in terms of video games. And I'm talking about Pokemon, the first movie.
Yeah, I love that for it.
Nice.
This movie, I mean, if you don't know what emotion is, you will discover it as a kid, you know, and you'll maybe have your first tears, and that's kind of how I had my first tears, you know. No spoilers, but you know, it's a solid movie. It's one that's, you know, sparked, you know, wide fandom here outside, you know, red and blue, of course, but you know, it's such a big deal, and the first Pokemon movie would be like amazing, even though, again, going back to what James talked about with Star Wars, I don't know how much Nintendo would be very red tapey about it. So that's the only thing I would say is probably not going to happen. But first movie, incredible.
That's a great choice right there. I was not expecting that pool tonight. But I actually like the second one even better than the first one. I think the second one, Pokemon 2000, is a legit good movie just by itself. I love the story for that one. So that'd be cool. Yeah, more animation on Criterion, Pokemon. I mean,
yeah,
that would get more people to check out Criterion for sure. They're like, what is this? Pokemon?
What is this Pokemon
Criterion
thing?
It's Japanese, right? It's Japanese animation. Yeah.
Do you think they would pay that much, that premium price for Pokemon?
Oh god,
movies?
that'd be so expensive.
Well, with the new ownership, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that being very pricey though. But that would be so cool. Has anybody else seen that first Pokemon movie on the panel by chance?
I have not.
I've got the first one in the snapper case.
John's like no. James like no.
I worked at a video store when that came out, and I'm like, you know what? I'll work when Star Wars gets released on VHS and DVD. I will not work when Pokemon comes out. I do not want to be a part of that because I know kids will come in and want to go.
Oh my God.
That was the movie though when I was young. Like I remember trying to stay up late to watch it on TV. We're like, we got to stay up for Pokemon.
Pokemon's one of those things where I don't understand it at all. I was hanging out with my nephew like a year ago, and he's like, "Download the app and we can play it."
Oh,
and
yeah,
I had
Pokemon Go. Yeah,
and I just
Pokemon Go, yeah.
I don't understand any of it, but I do understand that it is just a monster influence on the globally. It's an enormous thing. But I don't understand any of it.
It's the most valuable IP, so they have everything: movies, TV show, trading card game, video games. I mean, I used to play Pokemon Go all the time, like every day. Before I got into YouTube, like it was Pokemon Go every day for me.
Wow. Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all, yep. Oh, that song is so good too. The intro song. Ooh.
There's quite a big soundtrack too. I don't think anyone mentioned the soundtrack in this. All the hits of the '90s were in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
M2M was one of them.
Oh.
I think I'm going to misquote it, but I was going to say I think. I'll just look it up later and not embarrass myself.
All right, everybody got their answer?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, 1, 2, 3, show.
Oh, okay.
All right, we
got
two no's. A lot of yeses though. That is awesome. I was not expecting that.
Me neither. Yeah.
James is now curious.
Never.
Yep.
Well,
James, you're gonna be watching that later, right?
Because anime doesn't usually do well on these channels, right? So, especially those like movie battle channels, movie collection channels, or battles.
Yeah, not a lot of people talk about animation in our space. I don't think. Yeah,
no, it's a shame.
I know animation's great. Oh my gosh, there are so many good animated titles. All right, James, what do you got?
All right, so I'm going to piggyback off of Nathan and John, going back to the mission statement again. It's a continuing series of important classic and contemporary films. Important classic and contemporary films. So when I think about that for this next submission here, I think about a film that so much was riding on the success of this film. If this film flopped, it would have meant that a multi-billion-dollar franchise would not have happened. But because this film was successful, it basically launched a multi-billion-dollar franchise and like a 20-film arc, the likes of which we've never seen.
Oh.
And so much was riding on Robert Downey Jr. and his performance in this film. And this
I know
movie.
you're on.
If this film was not successful, imagine how different things would be, you know? If this film had flopped, if Robert Downey Jr. sucked in this role, we would never have had an Endgame or an Infinity War or any of that, you know?
Right.
And so I think about, you know, this film is as important as it gets in cinema history, you know, the first Iron Man film. So I would put this one in the collection, potentially, you know, not Iron Man 2. Nope.
Oh gosh! I said
in there.
And the twist in Iron Man 3 just walked out of the theater.
I hate that. I would have walked out. I was so close.
I hated that. I still have not picked up Iron Man 3 for that reason. But this original one here, important film. So yeah.
I mean, and you could get great special features with still the cast and everything. You know, Robert Downey Jr. doing a new commentary, like Jon Favreau in there.
Yeah,
you could do a lot of great stuff.
Jeff Bridges, you could Jeff Bridges in there.
Yeah,
there you go.
Bring them all back and, you know, do some visual essays and everything. I mean, it is.
You even got the math god Terry in there.
What's that?
You know, the math god Terry.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Iron Man.
No, Nate. What were you talking about? Explain yourself.
Remember how Don Cheadle wasn't in the first movie?
Oh yeah.
Terrence Howard's a little crazy.
Terrence Howard in this one, and then
that's why I said Terry.
Replacing with Don Cheadle. Yep.
Yeah, that
come on, man.
1 + 1 is 1.
Is there any other big budget blockbusters in the Criterion collection?
Malcolm X. I mean, Malcolm X was that big.
Well, I mean, if you go
it's 100 plus
Armageddon,
like
but
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, like Armageddon would probably be the only one I can think.
The Rock,
right. Silence of the Lambs was sort of big.
Silence of the Lambs, yeah.
We got Tiana in the chat, who is a member of the channel, so I always got to shout her out.
Hello,
Hey,
Tiana.
everyone. Look at this awesome panel. Well, thank you so much, Tiana. You are awesome.
Come on, Ben. You know you don't mean that.
the day a Marvel film goes to the Criterion collection. Today I weep in the bathtub. That's like what I'm celebrating. I'm like,
not just any Marvel film.
Well,
you know, not
wait
just
in
any
the shower
Marvel
too.
First,
In fetal position, just like.
Dell says, I love superhero movies. But honestly, don't want Criterion to go down that road. 100% right there. I would love it. Oh my gosh, that'd be great.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'd be okay with just Iron Man and that'd probably be about it.
Yeah.
Let me think of all 30 movies.
I would love to see some of the classic superhero stuff though, like Blade on there, and you know, something like that.
Batman '89, get that in there.
There you go.
The original
Classic
Superman movie.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck.
I love it. Now you're speaking to my heart right there. Day one purchase for me, 100%.
This is how you don't make a superhero movie.
Oh, man. Howard the Duck is so good.
Just like you put them in a bathtub, like hard copy. Howard the Duck.
To copy Wally.
All right, everybody writing their answer.
All right.
All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal.
All right.
Oh, James didn't know. Oh no.
Oh, 5 no's right
Got a yes.
I tried to split the room.
Yeah.
We got 1 yes.
I have to out in the first round. I don't know.
Could be worse.
That was controversial though. That the criteria.
That's true.
Wow. I would have been all
just
over on yeses with that.
I had to get my lead back because I
Right there, you're like,
match me.
All right, John.
All right, here's some numbers on this film. It's a highest grossing film the year it came out. Nominated for 10 Academy Awards, ended up winning 3 of them, including Best Picture. It's Library of Congress selected preservation, number 57 on AFI's top 100 films. It ended up launching 8 sequels and made one person one of the biggest movie stars of all time. And so we have the original Rocky.
He stole mine.
I think it'd be phenomenal. This is one of those films, I think, too, where we may have waited too long, because even just within this last 2 years, we've lost a number of cast members who've passed away. And so, but we do have Stallone. You still got Talia Shire, which, if you know the film, it's not about boxing. This and Lord of the Rings are my two favorite franchises of all time. This is about a love story, and I think to have commentary and interviews with Talia and Sylvester would be amazing to have. I think to do retrospectives on the cast members we have lost would be incredible. And I also think a conversation in special features about how this has impacted sports films since then, since 76, the impact, so pulling together directors of other famous sports films and how this has inspired so many other films. If you've been to Philly, I went on like a middle of the week on the middle of the day, and the stairs are littered with people running the steps, taking pictures by the statue. Like, this is a global phenomenon. And the other thing that'd be great in the special features was this should not have been made, and Stallone should not have been the guy in the film. If you know the story behind the film, nobody wanted him to do it, and he stuck to his guns. He wouldn't take the money for the script. He said, it's got to be me. And so it's kind of a real life story that happened in Rocky, that happened in Stallone's life, and it changed everything, changed film history. So anyway, Rocky 1976, I think well deserving to be in the collection.
True. Yeah.
Such a great choice right there. And even though The Dark Knight Rises is my favorite movie of all time, the Rocky franchise is by far my most watched franchise of all time.
Very cool.
I go through that franchise like 2 to 3 times a year, all of them easily. I even have my Creed 3 cup tonight, coincidentally.
Okay.
Creed 3, there you go.
Yeah, five's not my favorite, but everything else I like.
Oh man, I love them all. The only one I don't like is the Rocky versus Drago cut. Like, I don't like that. Cut.
That wasn't good. You didn't like that?
I hate that. That's the only, I think it's a bad movie. Rocky 4 is my favorite though, out of all the Rocky movies.
I thought they made it better because they got. I thought they made it better because they got rid of all the goofy stuff, right? Like they got rid of the robot and the man.
Goofy stuff. I'm like,
okay.
Where's my montage? Like, where's like my montage music videos? Like, what happened to this? Where's my robot? I'm like, where's all this stuff?
Where's the montage?
God, that robot.
Montage.
Montage.
Yeah, more montage.
That's hilarious.
I like Rocky 3. It's my favorite. I love Rocky 1. It's definitely the most art house and definitely the most, the down the dumps, down the dumps kind of, that kind of hero that kind of rises out of the ashes, that kind of thing. That's what's really great about the character. The blue collar, boxer and trying to, stay alive.
Yeah, purely a sports drama with that first one. As you go on to become more blockbuster action movies in a way.
Kind of had where they had to go though, and it got so popular. They had to
third one. Yeah, the third one for me has the second best story after the first one. So.
Best cast, I think. The most best theme song. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Rocky, Criterion. Everybody writing their answer. All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, we got 4 yeses, 2 no's though. 2 no's on that. The Johns were like, no, we don't want that.
Which I
definitely do. I'm just trying to split the room.
Yeah, John called me with it, so he knew I was going to vote yes. So I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
Yeah, if Raging Bull's going to be in the collection, Rocky deserves to be.
Absolutely.
That's a good point. Yeah.
All right, Mothbuster.
Okay, I asked Mike previously if we can do box sets, so this is going to be a box set. We've gotten this filmmaker's films multitudes of times in the collection. We've seen the Bergman cinema box set, which is fantastic. Same with the Wong Kar-wai box set. I feel this is going to split the room because some people don't even like this filmmaker, and that is I would like to see a Wes Anderson cinema box set.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I love so many of his films. I kind of want to maybe make sure because there's so many fantastic films in his collection and his filmography. So I feel like a Wes Anderson box set is just perfect for the collection, especially because they already have the films.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite directors now. I just went through like a tear on all of his Criterion collection. I'm like, I love these movies. I love that like dark humor he has. But you could even get some newer ones to the Criterion collection too, with like Isle of Dogs, the Criterion. Throw that in there. You know, that could be a selling point.
That was definitely.
But remember, Academy Award winning Wes Anderson.
Right.
Oh yeah, and he didn't show up for his award.
That's right.
He's too cool for it. He doesn't need his award.
He didn't film the ceremony himself, so if he did, he may show up.
That was a Netflix release. Was it? Yeah. It was like 3 shorts and one, I think, or
right. Yeah, I've seen them. I don't feel like they were very. They weren't talked about much. I feel like it just showed up. You know, there wasn't much conversations about it, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, that would be cool if those were included on a release. Yeah, if they included that all on one disc there in that Criterion collection.
Shorts, like a Scorsese shorts.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Is everybody else a Wes Anderson fan on this panel?
I am, yeah.
Absolutely.
Damn it, okay.
That's good information.
I hope someone would.
That's good info for you.
No, because I know a lot of people hate the quirky style of it, so I'm like,
I love it.
I love it. I love it.
I used to hate it.
Absolutely love it.
But now I love it.
I've got all his movies in it, though. I don't know. Tip the head.
Okay. All right, everybody writing their answer. This will be an interesting one right here. All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, 3-3. Wow.
Yay.
Fantastic job. Wait, so the people that said no, what happened?
Is it because you already have all the films or something like that?
They already exist.
But put them all to 4K, you know, something.
With the new films too? With the newer films?
I like the shorts idea. And like
the shorts. That's I'm down for that.
Yeah, because that was what I was thinking of them to include the newer films. They could do like a box set, and it comes with all a bunch of stuff. So,
All right, awesome. Well, let's recap this round here. So, in round 2, we have Steve with 5 points right there, Johnny with 4, Nate with 3, James with 4, Platt X2 with 4, and Mockbuster 5. So Steve, Mockbuster tied for the lead. Mockbuster, you brought it back to a tie right there. How are you feeling right now? You feeling good?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah. Some of these I literally just picked because I thought about it while we were playing. I was like, oh, that's some good ones.
And there you go. That's the way to do it. All right. So, Steve, now you got competition right here.
Oh, there we go. See what happens here. Okay, so this director actually doesn't have a film in the collection. And I think this is a great movie, but he's not necessarily a Criterion kind of guy necessarily. We've already talked about him once tonight, but 1974, this director had 2 movies get released. And this one, it's in black and white, starring Gene Wilder. 1974, the movie is Young Frankenstein. This is a National Film Registry kind of film. You know, Peter Boyle, Marty Feldman, Cloris Leachman, Oscar winner. Mel Brooks actually has an Oscar, if some people don't know, as a writer for the movie The Producers, and he also produced films like he did The Elephant Man. He was like the producer of that, and we mentioned something else that he's involved with. So this is a classic movie. This is also 40 years old now, or 30 years, or 40 years old now, 50 years old. Sorry, from 1974, 50 years old now. So. I think it's a classic movie. It's it's in, like I said, black and white, so it has the classic kind of monster kind of look to it. So I think this would be great, but I don't know if they can get this is a Fox title, so Disney owns it, and probably never see it come to the collection, but I would love to see it though.
It's one of the funniest movies of all time. So
yeah,
it's good.
Peter Boyle, yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna go with a Mel Brooks title, that's probably the most well-known one. So
that or Blazing Saddles, or those.
And that one's getting a 4K, right? Blazing Saddles. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody, Mel Brooks fan on here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can sense some people not being a Mel
I'm
Brooks
not
fan.
hugely familiar with his directing work, but definitely appreciate him producing The Elephant Man, which is probably one of Lynch's best films.
And one of his movies, right? That was a bad joke.
Yeah.
I said one of his funniest movies, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he also produced The Fly as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think he had a little featurette on The Fly when I was going through it, if I remember. Yeah, I think he produced The Fly.
Yeah, it's called Brooks Films. And he saw Eraserhead and decided to hire David Lynch to do The Elephant Man.
All right. Everybody writing their answer. All right. Let's see it. 1, 2, 3. Show. Ooh, lots of no.
Wow.
One on.
One on.
What? Yes, we got a yes.
Okay, that's a half point, right? On.
I got 1 point on that one.
The only one yes. Wow.
Well, that's one of my favorite movies ever. But you mentioned it. Producers probably would be the one that would be the one that's greenlit, if anything, got greenlit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a Broadway play. Also, that's what Mel Brooks has been doing. What did he just? I think he's about to turn 98 or something like that. I think.
He's still okay.
He's been producing on Broadway for like 25 years since Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Yeah, I love that
about the
movie.
business.
Well, that movie scared the heck out of me when I was a kid, ironically, which is, because it's such a goofy movie. But I remember being like, well, I never want, or what was it, like the drapes, like the, mosquito drapes. It was like, I just can see a vampire just sitting, just laying right there. He's going to come down.
Yeah. I like Life Stinks. I think Life Stinks is
I
kind of
love
underrated.
Life Stinks.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Mel Brooks just in general. So.
All right, Johnny, what do you got?
All right, this one I mentioned on our Criterion stream last time, and this may split the room because the Academy got it right, and it's Dances with Wolves.
Ooh.
Just the simple fact of the hell that Kevin went through to get this movie made. And it's a Best Picture winner, Best Director. Why is this not in the Criterion collection to begin with? I love this film, and see, James has had enough of it. James they got it right with this, and this really, at least it needs a 4K upgrade, and this belongs in the Criterion collection.
That movie is so good, and it would look beautiful with 4K, all those landscapes and environment. Oh man, yeah, that's a good movie. And
I just realized that my MacBook was unplugged, so it said you better plug it in or it's going to shut off. So I had to reach for the cord there.
I thought Dances with Wolves got you thinking, James. You were going to pull another title. All right. Dances with Wolves.
With wolves.
Yeah. Got it.
I know nobody's showing their cards on this one. Not much was said here. All right, everybody got their answer? 1, 2, 3. Show.
Oh, yes.
4 yeses, 2 nos, 2. Nice.
Even though I say no in real life.
Yeah.
No Dances with Wolves.
I do like that movie a lot, and it's definitely one of his best for sure.
I haven't seen it in years, but that makes sense though. And I was going to say, The Fly is Brooks Films. It was Mel Brooks.
Okay.
Yeah, Dances with Wolves feel more like a Shout Select film for me, to be honest.
It's such a long movie too, especially that director's cut. Ooh, that's a 4-hour movie right there. You might need 2 discs for that, 2 4Ks.
We're about to get 5 4-hour movies, right? From him.
Oh my god, man, that's the only thing. I usually see all the new movies that come out, but I'm like, 3 hours for that? Oh, I don't know if I can do it. And it's a part 1. How do you make a part 1 3 hours? with 5 other
Well,
sequels.
Lord of the Rings likes
What?
to call.
Yeah.
But this one even has more sequels. Are they each going to be 3 hours? Oh my! Try marathoning that.
Maybe could have been a TV show.
You need 3 days for this. Yeah, that'd probably been a good show too, right? Because didn't he do Yellowstone and all that? Did he, or
Yeah,
was that one?
Taylor Sheridan did it, but I mean,
He was in
involved
it.
with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. All right, Nate, what are you thinking?
So I have a controversial, controversial film that people either loved or hated. I was in the love category because a lot of people just put this in the camp of the original, which could be a proxy for what I could be putting in here. But I like the remake so much that I think it's such a unique film that I think, it's one that would garner a lot of eyes to it, but also just, they're not very horror oriented. So I think another thing too is to add another horror element to it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Suspiria from Luca Guadagnino.
Okay.
This is an art house version of Suspiria, which is right up Criterion's alley. Obviously, I love the first film, and I view them completely separately. I love them both in so much regards, but I know a lot of people who do not like this movie because they have that background of the original movie, and they're just like they just go in and. I'm calling those people out. So is what I'm saying. This is a great movie. And there's a lot of really cool twists and turns. And also the music, Tom York. I mean, like, this is like some of the best like score I've heard in a long time in terms of, tapping into somebody to make something so creative and like haunting. So anyway, Suspiria.
I still need to see that one. I have not seen the original or the remake. So
Mia Goth, or yeah.
Oh, Mia
Wasn't a
Goth
fan.
in there? You sold
Yeah.
me. That's all I needed to hear.
That Dakota
Right.
Johnson girl.
She's a little crazy, but
A little bit.
Yeah, Tommy.
I just read the original.
But Tilda
Some people
Swinton's
say.
great too. So
Right.
as always.
Mm-hmm.
Have they done a 4K release of that one already?
It was like a foreign release, right?
New one? I don't think so.
Yeah, because they have the classic one, right? Synapse did that.
Yeah. And that's a great 4K.
Suspiria got a
One of the
4K,
best
yeah.
4Ks. One of the
The
best.
remake.
All right, everybody writing their answer. 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, lots of no's there. One yes.
Did it again.
Almost went yes.
Thank you. You almost got me.
Oh, yeah. Almost got yes.
So the ones that said no, you're just like, no horror to Criterion.
I got one on the last round. So.
See, I don't know much about it because I'm like,
Anybody else seen it?
I've never seen that one. Or now, I think the original one that you're referencing, Nate, is the Dario Argento one. Is that
correct?
I haven't seen that one either. I need to see that one, so I haven't seen either version. But.
Yeah, that one's a classic. I mean, it's hard to argue that this is better than that, obviously, but it's a completely different vein. So if you watch them both, like, there's not very many similarities. There's a couple, but not really. So which is nice.
Check them out.
You almost roped me in with Tom York. I was close.
I mean, you can listen to that regardless of watching the movie. It's good.
I'm definitely going to look that up.
Yeah, Radiohead fans, if you are not familiar with Tom York.
All right, James, you're up.
All right. For this one, I'm going to go with a box set following Mockbuster's example there. So I'm going to go with a box set from the most commercially successful director of all time. He has, his box office is like over 10 billion, which I know Criterion is not big on box office and all that, but this director is not only commercially successful, but his films are just so culturally significant. And you look at his collaborations with John Williams and the scores of these films.
Oh yeah,
just legendary. So I would go for a Steven Spielberg box set. Steven Spielberg has 4 titles in the collection currently. So this would be
I was thinking that too. Yeah,
this would be Steven Spielberg coming into the collection with a box set that included Jaws on 4K, so with new special features. E.T. the Extraterrestrial, so from 1982. Schindler's List, probably his most important film, on 4K with some new special features. Jurassic Park, with probably the best score from John Williams, and Saving Private Ryan. So a 5-film box set from films from 1970 to the 1980s, 1990s, touching on 5 of his all-time classics and great collaborations with composer John Williams. So Stephen King 4K box set, and him playing a big role and doing, special features and putting a lot of love into the release and bringing back some of the actors. Maybe throw Tom Hanks in there for a couple of features on Saving Private Ryan, and really, really go big with it.
Spielberg had Close Encounters on Laserdisc. He had that at one time. So I mean, I've always said that I think he should have at least one film in the collection. And he's in the he's part of I Want to Hold Your Hand. He was a executive producer of that movie with Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah, directed it. Yep.
Yeah, he does a little featurette on that. But I think it's kind of a shame that he's just kind of labeled as a Hollywood director, and that that's what they think he is. But I think he could have a film in a collection.
Yeah.
And have a box set. I mean, it makes sense that they'd represent him somewhere in the collection.
Mm-hmm.
He is an important director, even if he is a big box office Hollywood guy. I think he's an important director, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would have to really sell people with the special features, though, just because all of those titles have already come out to 4K. So you have to have some amazing packaging or artwork or something to really get people on that. But those are all good mainstream titles. So if somebody didn't have the 4Ks, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a no-brainer set right there. That'd be amazing.
Make him do a commentary, too. I don't think he's ever done a commentary. I don't think he's ever done commentary. Make him do it. Sit down and talk about your films. I don't think he likes to watch his own work. Chain him to the desk and just talk about it. Then
Clockwork Orange style with his eyes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. His eyes, dilate his eyes. What do you think? Keep watching.
So Steven Spielberg. Stephen King. Steven Spielberg. I don't think Stephen King has any in the collection either. But yeah,
you should.
Shining, maybe eventually. That'd be a good one. Sorry if I spoiled anyone's.
No, but that would be cool because I've always wanted Criterion to do like combo book editions, like do a Stephen King book with a movie. That would be really cool.
Max Drive, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's on
I'll
cocaine.
take Maximum Drive over The Shining.
The Shining,
okay.
Well, because Stephen King hated the movie The Shining. What Kubrick did to it.
Right.
That would be a cool interview to include. Like, why do you hate your movie?
Yeah.
Go through a commentary. Everything you hate about it. I want to hear it.
He kind of softened on that a little bit with Dr. Sleep, though, because he wrote the book.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love Dr. Sleep.
So good.
Extended edition.
So good.
Love that movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah, Dell's saying I'd love a Spielberg set of his lesser known or celebrated films. Yeah, you could do one where they haven't gone to 4Ks, like But Always, and was it 1981? Is it something like
1941?
1941. Yeah,
that movie.
41 was set 1979.
Yeah. Empire of the Sun. Yeah.
Empire of the Sun. That's the one I've always in Schindler's List. I think the two could definitely make a collection. I believe.
Or maybe his first film, Duel, and maybe have a supplement of his first short film called Amblin, which I've always wondered why his studio is called Amblin Entertainment. It's because of his first short film is called Amblin. So,
I thought the Fablemans seem to be that kind of art house kind of movie for him. That's unusual. That movie, could make a collection as well.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody writing an answer for Spielberg box set on Criterion. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, reveal.
The split.
2.
I need another
no. 2 no's. Okay, 2. 2's still good. 2's good. All right, John.
All right. So this was the 5th highest grossing film of the year it came out in 2004. It's the highest grossing R-rated film in North America, not globally, but in North America, and the highest grossing independent film of all time. Nominated for 3 Academy Awards. And you asked for controversial films, and this one is controversial on a number of fronts. So Criterion does well with controversial films, so I'm going with The Passion of the Christ.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
So, and this is what I'm thinking for special features, is you still have Mel Gibson, you still have Jim Caviezel, who are with us for commentary, for interviews. Another thing I would love to see is, because of all the controversies on various fronts surrounding this film, is to have a conversation with historians and people from various faith traditions, having a conversation about, like, an intelligent, educated conversation about the controversies on this film. And then the last thing I would love to see, we brought up Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese actually has a trilogy of faith-based films with The Last Temptation of Christ, Kundun, and Silence. And coming up soon is a film he's going to do called A Life of Jesus. And so he's got a bunch of faith-based films. I think a conversation between Gibson and Scorsese on making contemporary faith-based films would be a really interesting conversation, especially where Scorsese has a long history of this, of well-known films that have done well. Yeah. So anyway, controversial film, but I think with it having those various accolades, highest grossing R-rated film, highest grossing independent film. Yes, Academy Awards. So anyway,
nice.
I'll throw that out there.
There's a sequel coming out, right?
It's been in the talks for a very long time, I think.
A sequel?
I think the idea of it was between death and resurrection, on what's happening on a spiritual level between death and resurrection. I think so, which I don't know how you do that film, but
I thought it would be more, he's come back, like how Family Guy always, it's like this time.
Yeah, I thought it would be a resurrection film, but it's actually in between, which, so.
Interesting.
But I like how you describe the special features right there. That would be really cool for that roundtable discussion.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That right there sold me on it. Yeah.
And I don't think that has a 4K, right? So it would be a first time on 4K.
I think it's in the box.
Yeah, I just love hearing Scorsese talk about films, period. So just having him in any capacity talk about this movie, with Mel Gibson would be amazing.
All right, Scorsese on Iron Man. Let's go.
I love the song.
Here.
I was with Tony Iommi and Ozzy Osbourne, and he's lost in the fact that he thinks it's Black Sabbath that he's talking about, and doing a whole little bit there.
All right, everybody writing their answer. All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Oh, what's Johnny? Dramatic pause for Johnny.
1 no on that. 1 no. But it looks like a lot of yeses there, so a lot of people want that one.
I love you, John. I wanted to give you a point.
There you go.
Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that.
I thought John was going to go no.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure with this one at all. You know what I mean? So
You did so good convincing us, though, John. You're like, all those special features. I'm like, ooh. You did too good of a job. That's what happened.
Life of Brian. Also, Monty Python.
That's one of my favorite Jesus films. Life of Brian.
Vin is saying, speaking of Gibson-directed films, films that would be glorious on 4K, Apocalypso. That would be another good Criterion one right there. That would definitely fit.
Apocalypto, yeah.
It's a good movie.
Great movie. It doesn't have a ton of dialogue in it. It's action, but it keeps you involved in that movie a lot.
The set piece that film. Oh.
All right, Mockbuster, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna go with something more modern. I love this era of film, the 2000, 2010 early era, where like these mid to low budget noir thriller films were starting to get more popular again. Things like I'm not mentioning it in this one, but things like Nicholas Winding Refn with his film starring Ryan Gosling. I don't want to say it unless it's someone else's pick. Denis Villeneuve having that kind of what's it called ascendance to popularity. This is another one that is in that kind of sphere of those kind of films that doesn't really get talked about much. It's still a successful one, but this is the one that doesn't really get that much praise, and that is Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah,
Love me some Nightcrawler. So, one of my favorite Jake Gyllenhaal performances. Absolutely fantastic. It was a $15 million budget, made $80 million, so no one thought it would have, made that much money. But Nightcrawler, love me some Nightcrawler.
Hey, Hollywood has to learn from that movie. Small budget films, do that.
Yeah.
You can still
Small
make
budget, great writing. Yeah.
I saw the movie twice in the same day. Nightcrawler.
So good.
That's so good.
Who
It's
knew?
great
If you made a
homage to
good
that
movie.
Kirk Douglas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that to get a 4K. I mean, I just
Ace in the Hole, if anyone's not familiar. It's got a lot of similarities, or at least, this is a contemporary version of it.
the Kirk Douglas. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Mhm.
What was the movie called?
Ace in the Hole.
Ace in the Hole.
Ace in the Hole.
And
Yeah.
Criterion.
Yeah, that's when I watched Nightcrawler. That was like what my mind went to. I was
Right.
like, wow,
Ooh,
this
really?
is
Okay.
like a
I
really
haven't seen
good
that one yet.
version of this movie. That, just a nice little scummy guy filming stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Nightcrawler, that's such a haunting performance. You're like, this guy is so evil. He's so evil.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Everybody got their answer?
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, reveal.
Good too.
Let's see, 4 yeses, 2 no's, 2 points.
I could have said no to split the room, but I wanted to go with my heart.
You're right.
I know that's tough sometimes. You're like, do I go with my heart or
Roxette is
do I
always
get the
right.
point?
Roxette is always right.
All right, well, let's take a look at the scores here. So after 3 rounds, Steve has 6 points there. Johnny, 6 points. See, those twos can definitely help. Nate with the 4 points. James with 6. John, you got 5. And Mockbuster, killing it today. 7 points. Wow,
Nice.
Mockbuster
Okay, thank you.
takes the lead right there.
I had to make sure you only got 2 points. That's right.
This is golf, right? Golf rules, right?
What was that? Oh,
This is
golf.
golf.
Yeah, lowest score. Yeah, Nate, you're doing really good with it.
Heck yeah.
All right. So fourth round now. Fourth round. Steve, you got to make a comeback here. What are you thinking?
A lot of pressure, but yeah. So we were just talking about Ace in the Hole. That's a Billy Wilder. This movie is actually, it was my grandmother's favorite movie, and she always talked about it for years. And it took me, it was like literally last year the first time I ever saw it, and I watched it again actually just recently on 4K. It's Jack Lemmon. The movie is The Apartment.
Oh,
Great movie. Black and white. It's so great. Frederick Murray plays just a really nasty guy in the movie. He's was Double Indemnity with Billy Wilder. Just when I saw this, like, oh my god, now I get it. Like for years, I always thought this was The Odd Couple because it takes place in New York in an apartment, and I didn't know what The Apartment was. I'd never seen it. And like once I saw it, wow, I really connected with something my grandmother loved for years. I asked my mom again, this was grandma's favorite movie, right? And she said, yeah, The Apartment was her favorite movie. So yeah, if you're talking about Ace in the Hole, Double Indemnity, Some Like It Hot, he has all those. Billy Wilder has all those titles in the collection, the Criterion collection. I don't know if he could ever get the rights to this one either, but this is a Kino Lorber, but it looks great on 4K.
So good.
Yeah, definitely recommend people check this out. It's just, I love the ending. During the poker craze in the 2000s, there was a classic line that Shirley MacLaine says at the end of the movie that I never knew what that reference was, and because I heard it all the time on ESPN during the World Series of Poker. I don't want to spoil it, but I can spoil it. I guess you guys have probably always seen it. But she says, "Shut up and deal." And I thought, wow, it's so great. It doesn't have that classic Hollywood ending, but it's just it's so great. The two people connect at the end of the movie.
Super transgressive too. for the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, it was very dark.
Matter is it's crazy.
So dark, like because something really terrible could have happened in the movie, and you know, yeah.
And some people call it a holiday movie. What is with this?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Fred McMurray and the role like that and role like Double Indemnity when he's playing these low down up to no good characters, and then you see him in My Three Sons.
Right. So nice. Like that's the same guy. Like
bad to being low down and dirty. I love that.
Yeah, he's so nasty to.
All right, everybody writing their answer. All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal. Nose. Oh, is that a split right there? Wow, nice. That is a split. That's how you get back to the game. Very good.
Even though I mean yes, of course.
Oh yeah, I meant yes too. I'm reading the room though. It just doesn't look good.
See, the only reason I would say no though is because Kino Lorber did such a great job with that 4K. Like, I mean, I'm sure Criterion could add something else to it, but it's tough to get special features with such a classic movie like that. Oh yeah, Some Like It Hot.
There's the Kino as well. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Oh yeah,
great Kino.
I just watched it last week. It's like, wow, this movie I never gets old on me. For me,
All right, Johnny, you're up.
All right, this director's already in the Criterion collection, but this one's one of my favorites of his, and I know we'll never get a 4K of it, but it's Zodiac.
Oh
wow!
Fincher, yeah.
There's that creep again. He comes back.
Yep. And to think that we still don't know who it is after all this time. Jake Gyllenhaal's really great in this, and I cannot remember who they have. I can't remember who they have to play Arthur Lee Allen. Oh God, the guy who played Arthur Lee Allen, just creepy, just the way he looks, and the scene in the basement.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still
Very
creepy. Are you sure you're alone in the house? Yes. You just see the
gotta go.
Creep and everything.
And they ripped it off. Let's go.
And they ripped that scene off. You'd be able to get the more bonus features on this because that documentary they have on here is already top notch.
Yeah.
But I would love to see a 4K of this, but I know Fincher said he's not going to do it.
I've got that same one.
Yeah,
the same too.
So this one
pretty much the only version.
I want to see this get put in the Criterion collection.
Dude, people said Iron Man was Robert Downey Jr.'s resurrection, bro. Zodiac.
I think Zodiac could have been. Yeah.
I would say there's honestly, I might pull this one out, but I don't know. In 2000, he did. Why am I blanking on the name? With Tobey Maguire, did a movie, Wonder Boys.
Right.
A movie that a lot of people don't know about. It's really good. That was like the beginning of sobriety.
And then Venture as the game, in the Criterion collection. That's a really good one.
The game and Social Network. Everybody had that one.
All right. Everybody writing their answer?
Oh.
Yep.
At 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, lots of yeses. One no right there, though. Everybody wants that one. I'm like, wow, I need to see this movie. That is one that just flew under my radar.
I almost wrote this in different letters with like different cutout things and printed a little bit different just to change it up.
Yeah, I've only seen half of Zodiac. I haven't finished it yet. So.
Such a good movie.
I have a long movie though, but it's so good though.
Super engaging.
Yeah. Has anyone seen The Boston Strangler? Like the movie The Boston Strangler starring?
No.
Literally, like it rips off the entire plot of like Zodiac. Literally, like almost beat for beat.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was so bad. I was like, oh my gosh. Was it Keira Knightley or something like that stars in it? But
that one that's on Hulu.
Yeah.
All right, Nate, you're up.
All right. Well, kind of going in the tradition of debut films, this one is an easy no-brainer. I feel like a lot of people would probably be like, yes, absolutely. And if I tell you where he came from, you're going to automatically know where this is going. Mad TV. Who are we talking about? Talking about Jordan Peele. Get Out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, significant for Jordan Peele just in general because, you know, he had that moniker on Mad TV with Keegan.
Right.
And, you know, that's how I grew up with them. And so I watched him and Will Sasso and all that. Just seeing something like this that is so piercing to the zeitgeist of what's going on in the culture. And like, you know, past when it needs to have been made. You know, it's just an incredible film that I think upon rewatching, you know, it's one of the best debut films, like probably of all time from a director. So it's kind of incredible because if you think about his filmography, like now a lot of people still think this is his best work.
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
Pretty crazy to say that, but you know, I feel like this is a pretty obvious choice, but you know, I think Criterion definitely would put this out eventually, you know, maybe in like 10 years or so. So
yeah, I like all his movies. Us and Nope are quite good as well, and they're different genres too, which is really awesome.
Yeah, he's one of those directors that whenever his next film comes out, I don't even have to know anything about it. I know I want to see it because it's a Jordan Peele film. You know, I want to see what he does next.
Exactly. Yeah. It's one of those talented filmmakers that can back up their discography by having the success that they do. And it's like, they'll be like, hey, go ahead, do whatever you want to do. And then always succeed. So it's like, it's great.
Yep.
Did he announce what is the next movie he's working on?
He's producing movies for some reason.
He produced Monkey Man. So.
Yeah, he saved that movie. Got it a theatrical release there.
Yeah.
Candyman. He produced Candyman.
Candyman, Monkey Man.
Stop saying that name.
Right.
Monkey
Man's really great, though.
Fantastic, yeah.
All right, everybody got their answer?
Yeah.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, reveal. Two no's right there.
I finally got 2.
There you go.
Even though absolutely yes. Too obvious.
All right, James.
All right. So this is another director who currently does not have any titles in the collection, but he's one of my favorite filmmakers. I can't wait to hear what his last project is going to be. Supposedly his 10th film is supposed to be his last film. But I don't know what it's going to be. But this is the one I'm going to submit. It's one of his early works. It is from 1994, and it is just a all-time classic, great dialogue, non-linear storytelling. Is Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. I think if there is a film from him to go in the collection, I would submit this one here. You know, it's just such an all-time classic. You know, just a beautiful, beautifully quotable film. You know, I love the non-linear storytelling, the dialogue. It's just sharp and witty. The music. The performances, it's just a really cool and edgy film that is still, maintains its edge even to this day, for me. So
that movie makes me.
And I love I love this slip. I mean, this slip is really cool.
Yeah.
Right now, look at the red lipstick there. Love it. So yeah, Pulp Fiction.
You gotta watch the 4K of that.
Oh, it looks so nice.
That's nice. Yeah.
It does.
I didn't have a 4K player or a TV when I bought it, so I can watch it now.
I
watched the Blu-ray when it first came out.
Yeah, I watched the Blu-ray only, and I was just buying 4Ks just whenever I did buy a TV and a player. Now I've been watching the 4K. That's why I watched The Apartment, because I hadn't watched the 4K of it before.
I feel like
my favorite of Tarantino's is Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2, but I would submit this one.
Jackie Brown's really great too.
Yeah,
Jackie Brown's good too. Yep.
You can get that 4K for a pretty good deal too. I mean, even at the beginning. So,
which one? Pulp Fiction.
I was going to say Pulp Fiction. Yeah, Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs have been on sale for like forever. So but they're both great films. So
yeah. I wonder what his 10th film is going to be because he canceled it, right? Then he canceled
Movie Critic.
Movie Critic. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want that to be my 10th one. I have to think of another one now.
I just did a video like 2 weeks before that, and then he canceled it. He watched my video. I said, "No, it's off."
Yeah,
So
we'll
wait
see
till
if
that
he
comes out
ever
in
makes
2025.
it. If he ever makes it, or if he keeps putting it off. Oh, this one's not a good one.
You come to my channel. What's he think about it? All right.
I still want him to do a Star Trek. I always thought that would be pretty.
Yeah, there was
cool.
a rumor of him doing like an R-rated Star Trek movie. You know.
Wow. Okay.
But he was like,
That's
that cannot be my 10th one. I don't know why. Why is he obsessed with the number 10? Can only have 10. No, keep making more.
He's a drama queen. I mean, I love him, but he's a drama queen.
Yeah,
right.
It's not even really 10 anyway, because he's like, oh, well, you combine Kill Bill 1 and 2, and the other one doesn't count. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Did you say it's the last thing he'll ever do, or last film? Because what if he goes into like limited
Last
series,
film.
like David Fincher or something like that?
Last film.
Yeah, I guess
He's
I
been
mean, it
writing.
sounds like he loves long form storytelling. So I feel like if he like, oh, I'm stopping film, but I'll do limited series for Netflix or something if they give me a deal or something. Because he did that with what is that movie called? Oh my gosh, I'm going blank right now. With it was the Western movie. It was the Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight, that's my favorite.
It had a special like Netflix version that's like extended. So probably do something like that.
Yeah, I don't believe him, though. I feel like he will do more than 10. Even if he stops for like 5-10 years, he's going to come back. Like, come on. He's a creative. He's going to come back and do another one.
I believe him.
Itching at him, yeah.
I don't know.
think so.
I never
think he'll-
believe it when creatives are like, I'm
I
going to
think
be
he'll
done
venture
after
into those other realms like TV or writing books. But I think unless he's on his deathbed, that's the only thing I can see him being like, oh, never mind.
All right, so Pulp Fiction, 2 Criterion. Everybody got an answer for this? All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Split the
Oh, split the room.
Split the room.
Nice.
Very nice.
We're gonna know.
Yeah, the only reason why I would have voted no is because we already have it on 4K. So I'm like, oh, it's pretty good 4K as it is.
Yeah.
I'm saying no because I spent too damn much money on that Steelbook, and I'm not buying that movie again.
Oh, really? Oh my god! I'm like,
Yeah.
I got the regular 4K slip for like $12 when it was on sale. I'm like, I was happy with that.
The FOMO was so hard because remember everyone was like, "Oh, it looks so bad," and then everyone started posting their copies of it. I'm like, "You guys."
Let me get yours. It's too late.
I think True Romance would have been an interesting choice there too.
Ooh. But Arrow has such a nice.
Arrow's
has a
right,
nice
I know,
steel
but I was
book
just
in it.
thinking of like Tarantino's first, and I say that in quotes. So
Yeah.
Well, From Dusk Till Dawn, then he's in that.
Right.
Yeah.
He's in
That one.
All right, John, you're up.
All right, so this would be probably one of the lesser known films of the ones that I'm presenting. And it is, I don't have a copy of it. We don't have a Blu-ray release, at least in North America. It's from 1957, and it's Chaplin's A King in New York, Charlie Chaplin. So this one was released in Europe in 57. In 5 years before it happened, the FBI was investigating Chaplin. So it's a controversial film, and he got booted. He exiled out of the country. It didn't even get released in the US until 72. It was considered controversial because of the satirical way in which it spoke of American politics and American society. Now, Criterion, I'm a huge Chaplin fan, so this is why I want it in the collection. Criterion already has 8 other films of his in the collection, so we're not hurting for Chaplin films. But it would be the last main feature film he did where he directed and starred in it. So Criterion would finish it off the collection of 9 films where he directed and starred in the films. I'd personally love to see it in the collection. It is controversial, at least it was at that time. It wouldn't be controversial at all these days, but at the time, and I think that would provide some interesting special features to talk about why it was controversial then and how maybe the role of film and politics and how even today, how we do those things and how we critique politics today through film and what that looks like and kind of that history of how we've done that through film and why it's important that we have the ability to do that. So I think you could have some unique special features. I know we've already got 8 films in the collection. but it'd be nice to finish it off with 9. So anyway, A King in New York, 1957.
Yep.
Do you guys have a lot of Chaplin films from Criterion?
I do.
I don't.
I wanted to, but
Chaplin is hilarious.
Yeah, I think I have all of
Gold
them.
Rush is my favorite. So
They're all silent films, right?
no.
No, he's got a bunch of talkies.
There's
Yeah.
some talkies in there. Okay, those
First
are-
I mean, Dictator was in sound.
Second.
Dictator, yep.
Great Dictator, yeah. That was my second Criterion.
Iconic speech.
Monsieur Verdoux is talkie.
Right.
Yeah, he's got some talkies in there.
I think he's got 3 in the collection, right? That are talkies.
Yeah.
I think
That's
so.
good to know because I thought they were all silent films for some reason, and that's why I've stayed away because silent
Oh, no,
movies they
man.
just don't register for me. I'm like, I don't get what's happening.
Try The Kid or City Lights. Try
The
one of
Kid,
those two.
City Lights, Modern
Yeah.
Times,
Or
so-
Gold Rush, my favorite.
So good.
Brilliant.
Gold Rush, yeah.
Comedy translates better with because of the slapstick kind of thing, and it just
Yeah.
it translates better to silent.
Yeah.
Specifically more than horror. I've seen a lot of like silent horror films. It's kind of a drag, to be honest.
But yeah, it's been a number of years since Criterion put out the latest Chaplin title. So
The
I mean,
Circus, I think,
they're
was the
gonna
last
do
one.
to get this one out. So I mean, I would love to see it.
I think it'd be great to finish it off. I think they've done a great job with all the releases. So
The Circus, that's a good
That was
one.
the last one I think they put out.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder what companies own the Chaplin films. Are they all like from different studios or?
I don't know which studio would own this.
Not sure.
They're pretty silent about it.
That was a good one.
I was gonna say RKO, but that doesn't sound right. So
last week.
All right, everybody got an answer?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, reveal. Yes.
2 no's.
4 yeses, 2 no's. All right,
All
2
right.
points.
Finish it out. I agree, John.
There you go. Finish it out.
All right, Mockbuster trying to keep that lead right there.
okay. Oh, so we've talked about pretty popular films that launched people's careers, like Martin Scorsese. We've had films like his. This one is basically his Taxi Driver, and that is Memento from Christopher Nolan, a film that is iconic in how what's it called? Not controversial. What's it called when people take from it? It's a fantastic film. It's like the film bros movie next to Drive. So Memento would be if we want Taxi Driver, I'd also want Memento in the collection.
Mm-hmm.
That is one I still need to see. I think I only haven't seen a couple Nolan films, and it's Memento. And then he already has that. What was that other one he has on a Criterion?
Following,
That one I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
good
you
one.
either love it or hate it. Yeah. We watched it in English class for nonlinear storytelling. Some people hate the nonlinear storytelling. They're just like, get on
I'm
with
not
it.
a fan of.
Which is Memento to a T.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah,
But that's why
especially
people don't
films that
like.
definitely jump. Edits everywhere. It goes all over the place.
Oh gosh.
Crazy Eddie.
That's why people don't like Dunkirk.
Oh god.
Dunkirk. Yeah, the Dunkirk.
People hate Dunkirk because of the nonlinear storytelling. Like, oh.
Oh. All right.
Oppenheimer is kind of that way too. Kind of came back that way, but Oppenheimer's my favorite though.
Yeah, well, that's the best writing he's ever had. So
Yeah, I think it's his best film. That film just blew me away.
Ooh, yeah.
Interstellar is my favorite. But I'm emotional about it, so that's why.
Oh, Interstellar. That's another good one.
Yeah.
Did anyone see Oppenheimer in 70mm? That was so good.
Yes.
Such a good experience. Holy.
All right, everybody got their answer.
Yep.
No,
Wait.
Memento to Criterion. What are we thinking?
Hold on.
All right. 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh. Oh, 4 yeses. 2 no's.
I just changed my vote to. I want that to know.
Darn it.
No, it goes to the room. I can feel it.
Ooh. Wow. Yes, this is going to be awesome. So we will look at the recap here. So now taking a look at the scores after the 4th round, we have Steve with 9 points, Johnny with 7, Nate with 6, James with 9 as well. Yes. John with 7, and Mockbuster is that 9 right there. So 3-way tie so far.
Nice.
Yep, there you go. So James, Mockbuster, Steve.
Wow.
9 points. 9 points. So this is going to be a tough round right here. The 5th and possibly final round, unless we go into overtime with some ties. But a reminder to the audience out there, if you have not yet done so, maybe you joined in a little bit late, go ahead and drink up that like and subscribe like it's a delicious milkshake for y'all. Okay.
It drinks it up.
All right. Steve, you ready to finish strong?
I hope so. So this director does have one film in the collection. It's from Coppola. He had a movie with Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson, and the movie is Lost in Translation. I've wanted this in the collection. The Virgin Suicides is their debut film. You know, obviously, the daughter of Francis Ford Coppola. So from the Hollywood royalty that we already talked about, Talia Shire from that family. You know, that Nicolas Cage. She's all part. Jason Schwartzman. They're all part of that Coppola family. But this is one I wanted to wanted to see come to the collection for a long time. Hopefully, everybody's seen this one. Kind of art house kind of a vibe to it. Takes place in Japan. So I've always loved it. I think Bill Murray's really great in this, and Scarlett Johansson was kind of really young at the time this was made. I think Sofia Coppola, she could have 2 films in the collection, possibly. But that's my feeling on it.
Great movie.
Yeah.
And also based on real life from one side.
Oh.
And then her was the other side of it.
Yeah.
Ironically, both Scarlett Johansson's in both.
Right.
If anyone knows about that background. Spike Jonze and nothing.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen Lost in Translation. I still need to see that one.
Oh, wow.
I've seen her. I haven't seen Lost in Translation, though.
I think it got like halfway through her, and then I fell asleep.
Well, he has being John Malkovich is in the collection from Spike Jonze.
Yeah.
Great
movie. Different topic though.
All right, everybody has their poker face right now.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I'm not giving anything away this round right here, Steve.
This will probably kill me.
All right, everybody got their answer?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, lots of no's in there. One yes.
Wow.
Love that movie though.
It's a good one.
Karaoke in there is pretty good.
All right, Johnny, you're up.
Okay, for my last one, they've got a lot of films in the Criterion collection, and this one is by far my favorite. And it is so quotable, so beloved, and it's The Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you even ask Jeff Bridges what's his favorite movie that he's done. I believe he still says it's The Big Lebowski.
Oh, really?
He just loves it. I think that's the only one that if it's on TV, like he'll stop and he'll watch it. Like he won't watch anything else he's done. No True Grit, no Starman or anything like that. It's The Big Lebowski. And
he's the dude. The dude abides, right?
The dude abides. And I would just love to have a commentary track on here, which just the dude, Walter, and Donnie. You know, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, if he's still okay from getting knocked out on the street.
Yeah,
Jeff Bridges talking about making this movie and everything. And yeah, I'll probably not get a lot on this, but yeah, Coen Brothers are like staples of the Criterion collection. Go ahead and add their most popular movie to the Criterion collection.
Yeah, my favorite.
One of the most rewatchable movies. of all time.
A lot of people love that one. I could never get with it. I've tried watching it a couple
Hey.
times. I'm like, this plot is nonsense. He just wants a rug to tie the room
That's right.
together. Why? What
Well,
is
hey,
this?
man.
Mike, you're
Well, hey,
out of
man.
your
It
element.
really ties the room together, you know.
Like, just go to a store and
Rug,
buy
man.
another one. Come on now.
Well, hey, man, that's just like your opinion.
It's like
Yeah, man.
And that's cool. That's cool.
But everybody loves that one that I talked to. I'm just like, I don't get it.
I like the
That
way
bouncing on the cliff. Oh,
John Goodman and talks with Donnie all the time. Donnie kind of interjects in every conversation, and so
this is not
Tell you to
Vietnam.
yeah, there are rules.
And by the way, Midwest bowling alleys still have the same exact things. They all have little hand pieces on them, you know, and it's still dressed like that. So
Yeah,
Dude, it's so cool.
All right, everybody got an answer?
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
Three yeses, 3 no's.
Split the
Wow,
room.
a clean
Okay.
split right there.
And I said no to sabotage, Johnny. Goddamn.
Right there. And to upset the game.
I said yes to sabotage, even though my answer is yes. Reverse psychology.
All right, Nate, you're up.
All right, my last pick is going back to that mission statement again. So I used to teach. A lot of people didn't. I don't know if people knew that, but so a lot of the generation that I taught, I was shocked how many people knew about this movie and how popular it has sustained itself. Not so much in its most current iteration, but anytime I ever had a group activity or I'd quote something like, Princess Bride or Monty Python, maybe a third of the room or half would be like, yeah, I know what that is. But not everybody knew about this movie. Everyone knew about this one, and that's Mean Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And this movie, like it or hate it, it is on the pulse of culture. Like, everyone knows about it. And I'm talking about kids all the way, down, to 8 or 9 years old, probably know about Mean Girls in some way. Like I said, current iteration, no idea about the new movie / play. But this original is very of its time, and very much like Election is in the Criterion collection. That fits with this a lot, and I think it would fit along that category of Breakfast Club meets Election meets Mean Girls. And so I actually, like what Holland Oates says, I think fetch should be a thing, and it should stay, it should stay that way. So fetch.
That would be a good one for the Criterion collection. A really nice edition of that.
There's a lot of coming of age teenage films in the collection, so it'd fit with that.
Yeah.
But who hasn't been personally victimized by Regina George here?
But I do love the new one. If you guys have not seen the new one yet, I recommend it. It's very, very good. Yeah.
It's okay.
Really? I like musicals. I'm a sucker for musicals, so.
But the original, Johnny, you like the original though?
Oh yeah, I like the original. Yeah, my wife made me go watch that. Yeah.
Man, I wanted to go a second time. I'm like, I want to go again. This is my
Get back in line.
I just love the hard copy blues take on all of these. Every single time I mention something, it's like, I'm going to ruin my life.
In the hard soiled backyard. If Mean Girls ever enter your collection. Really? See, I thought that one would work right there. Ben is tough on them. He's tough on the Criterion collection right there.
Yep.
All right, everybody got an answer? Yes. 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Nice, my sabotage worked.
You got it.
And no, yep. Well, people want that one. There you go.
Well, I have won the golf game. Unless somebody gets 0, I'm pretty sure I won the golf game.
No golf clap.
Thank you.
All right, James, you're up.
All right, my last pick is a groundbreaking film in science fiction and action cinema from the Wachowskis, from 1999. Definitely, if you haven't seen this film and you don't know much about it, don't read anything about it. Don't even read the back of the movie case because it'll spoil the movie for you. But it's The Matrix, from 1999. Just groundbreaking film. Just the bullet time. Just so many science fiction and action films have borrowed from this ever since over the last 25 years. So would not touch any of the sequels, but this original Matrix film, 100% should.
I think Animatrix would be a cool special feature with that.
Oh, 100%. Put the Animatrix in there as a special feature. It goes beautifully with it. But as far as, I liked Reloaded. Didn't care for Resurrections. I'm glad that I did not waste time to go to the theater to see the most recent one. I saw it on HBO.
So bad.
Max.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Man, I was like the only one in the IMAX theater on that.
Yeah, it's like,
where's everybody?
Why?
Because it's like, even the bad Matrix films have like really good fight scenes. The new one, it's just like force field like pushes. It's like, oh my god, no guns. Like there's no gun kata. I'm like, okay, I'm back.
No Lawrence Fishburne,
But they're making a sequel. They're making a fifth one.
No Hugo Weaving.
No.
Enjoy.
Yeah. And no one's asking for it. Who's asking for another Matrix movie?
I don't think anyone asked for the last one.
That's their strategy right there. Give them
studio
what
asked for
they
it.
ask for it. Enjoy. With very expensive budget, so we'll make no money. Yes.
So bad.
All right. So Matrix for Criterion. Everybody got their answer?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, reveal.
Ooh, split the room.
Split the room right there. Wow, nice.
Really good at helping other people.
It's just the 4K release is also fantastic. So.
All right, John, you're up.
All right, last pick. I have 0 accolades to mention about this one. In fact, the film grossed $16.7 million on a $32 million budget. So it is a box office bomb. Nice. The only fun fact about this film is that it was the last film released on Laserdisc in the United States. Does not have a Blu-ray release, but it is stacked. It is a Martin Scorsese film, and it is Bringing Out the Dead, 1999. Nick Cage, Patricia Arquette, John Goodman, Ving Rhames, Tom Sizemore, Paul Schrader did the screenplay on this one. It has a great score on Rotten Tomatoes, 73 with critics, 70 by fans. Roger Ebert said it gave it a perfect 4-star rating. Nick Cage said a couple of years ago it may be the best film that he was ever in. If you've never seen the film, I highly, highly recommend it. It's outstanding. Another Scorsese film in the collection. I'm always happy to have another Scorsese film. It doesn't have a Blu-ray release, so Criterion would be able to give it its first North American Blu-ray release, which would be really cool. And again, if you haven't seen it, it is a really, really powerful film. I've held on to this DVD copy for a long time and would love to upgrade this one to Blu-ray or 4K. Would be amazing. Visually, it would be stunning in 4K. If you have not seen this film, highly recommend it. But Scorsese, technically a box office bomb, but so good. Highly recommend.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah,
I haven't
seen it either.
I remember you talking about that on my channel.
Yes, sir. It's so good.
What's the genre there?
You know what? I was doing some more reading on last night, and some people even put it into horror. I would totally disagree. It's not a horror film, in my opinion. It's very much suspense. He drives an ambulance, him, Tom Sizemore, and they're going around the city, and it's kind of them experiencing the trauma, the grief, the pain that all happens on a single night. And just like how Nick Cage gets so worn down from doing this for so long, and the kind of the impact it has on him mentally. And it's just a really powerful film. So yeah, I would say more suspense drama, but it's also pretty trippy in some scenes too. Yeah. Anyway, great film.
All right. Everybody getting their answer.
Did you say James?
I think that's a Paramount release, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yep. So it got a good chance.
You say James and Mockbuster in the lead, or tied or
In the last round, we had Steve, James, Mockbuster.
okay.
All right. So, what was the name of the movie again, John?
Bringing Out the Dead.
Okay.
Not the Monty Python bit.
Right. Bring Out the Dead.
Very different.
All right.
Nick Cage would be
1, 2, 3, reveal.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes is right there. Everybody wants that one.
right.
Oh, hey, we
good
have
one.
to get a
I do want
zero
that
on
on.
here tonight. You know, we just had to. So,
I do want it on Criterion
Yeah,
It'd be
that's
amazing.
a title I can see. Yeah.
Yeah.
or Paramount Presents, as
Yeah.
we know.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they gave Don't Look Now back to Criterion for some reason. I guess they took back out some of the other ones, but not that one.
all right, Mockbuster, it is down to you now. This
Okay.
one.
My last pick is a very nostalgic pick because I was born in the year 2000. So we have a lot of Richard Linklater films in the Criterion collection. This one is my favorite because I love me some Tenacious D, and I'm talking about School of Rock.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
One of my favorite films. I would love to see it on the Criterion collection.
I thought we were going to say Suburbia, which is I don't think it's ever
Yeah.
had a Blu-ray release. I don't think. It's a lot
Man.
more people have never seen that one though. But
I love
School of Rock's a great movie though.
School of Rock is amazing.
I have
So
not
good.
seen School of Rock. Okay.
Oh my goodness, it's so
Incredibly rewatchable.
I'll have to
It's
check it
so
out.
entertaining.
Very.
Yeah. Great
The tasty
music in it,
jams.
too. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't have a 4K yet.
No, we got that Blu-ray steelbook, but like,
And I picked it up. I'm like, I love
Oh,
the
did
movie
you?
so
Okay.
much. I know they're gonna come out with a 4K steelbook of it eventually, but I can't wait. I need this.
because that's what they did with like Wayne's World. We got like
Yeah,
a Blu-ray
yeah.
steelbook, and then the year after we got the 4K.
Yeah, they're definitely coming out with the 4K on that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody got their answer right there. All right, let's see if you're rocking it here, Mockbuster.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, reveal.
Did you get a split?
Ooh, a split.
Oh, see, I was gonna do that.
3 yeses, 3 no's.
Wow.
That is a split right there. Wow, nice. Very nice. So let's calculate here. Okay,
Mockbuster won, didn't he?
I
perfect.
think Mockbuster, you win.
Oh,
We do not have a winner right now.
Oh, did it tie?
So we are
Is it
going.
time?
Sudden death.
Sudden death.
All right,
Oh.
I'll show you guys the scores right here before we get into the tiebreaker. So, looking here, we got Steve and Johnny with 10, John and Nate with 7, but James and Mockbuster tied at 12.
Wow.
So, we go to overtime now. Now, how overtime works is whoever is still around in the game, which is the people that are tied, are going to play. So, the rest of us, we're not going to be trying to get that first place spot. Is now down to James and Mockbuster, but everybody will still vote. So everybody is still participating here. Everybody still needs to vote on this. Now, usually it's whoever is a returning player will get the decision on who goes first. But both of you guys are new to the game. So, well, and Mockbuster just stepped out. That means James, you get to
He's giving
decide.
up the- By default,
James,
James wins.
James, who do you want to start? You or Mockbuster?
No, I just want to take it. My thing.
I'll go ahead and start.
So, okay, so James is going to start. All right. Oh, and let me just finish up the tie-breaking rules. If we get another tie on this, we do go to a second round breaker to see
We will
if you
fight to the
guys
death.
can untie it again. If by the second tiebreaker we tie again, though, we see who got the most split the rooms, and then that person wins. If you guys both ended up with the same amount of split the rooms, we do call it a night, and that is just a tie, and you guys both get a trophy. So we'll see how long this goes. But it's never gotten to that, though. So I'd be surprised if it happens tonight. But James, you are up. What are you going to do?
All right, let's go. I am going to go. Now we're in overtime. I am going to go with a film that revived the horror genre, Scream. None of the sequels, just this movie here. The horror genre was sort of in a no man's land for a while there, and this particular film kind of revived, brought the horror, genre back and really put a fresh spin on it, and it influenced a lot of different films ever since. So it's the original Scream film. I think the franchise has kind of gotten long in the tooth. I'm really at a point I'm not going to see any more of these movies that come out. But this original one, just beautiful
Classic, yeah.
Classic. So it's important because it revived
Yeah.
the genre and kind of moved it forward. So
It's influenced some of the best movies, but it's also influenced some of the worst movies.
yeah,
Scary
It's like,
movie?
we got to replicate it. We got to replicate
yeah.
Scream.
It got mocked
Scary
by
movie,
Scary
yeah.
Movie. And,
Well, I'll never
Halloween-
pronounce it was up, voila.
Halloween Resurrection tried to capitalize. Was it Resurrection? The one with Busta Rhymes?
Yeah.
That one.
could be, yeah.
So Scream, wow. This is definitely would be the most mainstream title to go to Criterion. I mean, everybody that's a horror fan seems to love Scream.
Yeah.
But is it a fit for Criterion? That's the question here. All right, so everybody's writing their answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's tough. It all comes down to this.
No pressure at all.
All right, everybody got an answer?
Yes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, reveal.
Oh, okay.
3 yeses, 3
Oh,
no's. That is a clean split. Wow.
Wow.
Came my last second too.
I love Scream.
Okay, so Mockbuster, you have to split the room.
Wow. No pressure at all.
No
Okay,
pressure.
okay, I'm continuing with indie comedy, low budget, coming of age comedies that Criterion is doing recently. It's one of my favorite films. You either get it or you don't, because this is very Midwest, as from what I've seen on Reddit and people talking about it, and that is Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah,
The
God.
Criterion Collection. Oh, so that was my pick for the Criterion channel.
You fat lard.
Uncle Rico and
Uncle Rico's
so
really
good.
good side character. Like that whole side story.
Exactly.
Oh,
Continuing with that low budget, made a lot of money, successful stuff. So
I haven't seen that movie in the longest time though, so like elementary. But everybody loved that movie. That was like the go-to movie.
so good.
Napoleon Dynamite. Oh my gosh! Imagine that.
I
Criterion.
might watch that tonight.
the volleyball plays volleyball by himself.
All right, everybody, write in an answer.
Can we put Pedro down instead of yes or no?
Go for Pedro.
Go for Pedro.
All right, everybody got an answer? 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Did he get a split?
No, that's 3 yeses, 3 no's.
Wow.
Split.
Okay,
We're
good.
going to
That's
pass
good.
it.
We are now into our last round right here.
Oh, no.
Overtime 2, which now we go to Mockbuster, and Mockbuster, you're gonna start this one off.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, I have one. This one, continuing with the low budget early 2000s comedy films that made waves in the cult following. I'm gonna go with 2003's The Room.
Uh-oh.
Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Wow.
Funny story.
Bold pick.
Yeah.
Look with
Because if you watch it, ironically, it's such a good film. It's such a good time. They do screenings on like 35 millimeter all the time in my area. Tom Wiseau comes out hello today. It's so great.
Man,
we
I
talked
still
about
need to
the
see that
disaster
movie.
we talked about the disaster artist in the last live stream that I was on.
Exactly. So
On Mike's.
I've done screen reading with Greg Sestero. So when he did that whole disaster artist, spin where they were bringing all that.
Yeah.
So.
And the production quality is actually pretty good. So it's like for a remaster on Criterion would look really good. So, and that crowd of Criterion would eat it up. So that's what I feel.
Yeah, Jeff from Films at Home loves that movie. He's got it in his office, and you can see it in the back there. Films at Home. Jeff Rossio, he calls his channel now.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, The Room. Interesting pick for this last one right here.
Very bold. Very bold.
Off the top of my head, it's
all right, everybody writing an answer. All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal. Ooh, what's that?
Well, I got 2. Okay.
4 no's, 2 yeses. That is 2 points there.
Sorry, I'm tearing you apart.
So, now we are over to James.
All right, so I'm going to go with another film from David Fincher to be in the collection, to join The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and that is a film that talks about consumerism and a really interesting film, groundbreaking film. Brad Pitt, Fight Club from David Fincher. This would be, well, let's see. I think this came out in 1999, so this would be a 25th anniversary. You know, coming out on 4K from the Criterion Collection, David Fincher film. So yeah, Fight Club.
Wow.
Cultural phenomenon.
Yes, it was.
Wow. It's one of those movies that was already spoiled before a lot of people got to watch it, just because of how the ending. I'm not gonna say, but
yeah,
like Scarface.
Yeah,
in that same realm.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Fight Club. It was in the countdown. Definitely a lot of people want this one to Criterion, so we'll see what happens here. Everybody writing their answer?
Yep.
All right. 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Do we get 2?
Hey, you stole it for a second.
4 yeses. 4 yeses,
Wow.
2 no's. Wow, so that's 2.
Get your coffee, people.
Oh.
But we do have a winner.
Oh, okay.
Because now we go to who got the most split the rooms within the game between James and Mockbuster.
Oh.
And so let me actually circle this up real quick. There we go, there we go, there we go. Yes. So let me get in full screen here for you all. All right, so now we both have the same scores by the end of 17, but you can see James got 4 split the rooms, the Mockbusters 3 split the rooms.
Wow.
So James is
close.
Criterion Edition split the room
Wow.
champion. Congratulations right there.
Oh wow!
What a decision.
Congratulations. That's all I can say to this. You must be a Criterion snob since you caused the most controversy, James. So a nice warm congratulations to you on that one.
Oh my goodness! Well, thank you.
So how do you feel about that, James?
Yeah.
Wow, great game. I mean, this, when you first invited me on this, I didn't know what to expect and didn't really understand the game, but it's a lot of fun and really, really appreciate it. This was really a hoot,
And you get this trophy to take home, the Split the Room Criterion Edition trophy. I will send that to you through the chat so you can, print it out on your fridge or do whatever you want with that one. So there you go.
I received it now.
All right. Well, thank you all for playing. This was a awesome split the room game. It was so close, neck and neck. Everybody got points in here. So a lot of fun titles too that were recommended. Hopefully the Criterion people were watching out there and we get to see some of these go to Criterion in the future. So, hey, you never know. But we'll kind of just go around real quick. Promote anything you got upcoming on the channel or anything you want to say to the audience. Everybody's channel's links are in the description below. So James, because you are the champion, I'll let you start off. Where can people find you and what do you got upcoming?
All right. Well, yeah, I'm James of 20th and 21st Movies. Mike, thanks again for the invite. Really did appreciate it and enjoyed everybody tonight. Had a lot of fun with this game. Got a number of things going on. The channel got a couple of Criterion reviews coming up here this week for these 2 titles. This one here, oh my goodness. If you like courtroom dramas, nice film. A little long, but it's a little bit long, but good film. and then La Bamba. So did a community poll, and people voted for this one here. So I'll be sharing some thoughts on these two titles and also doing some Criterion recommendations. We got a potential sale at Barnes & Noble coming up here in a few weeks, 50% off sales. So fingers crossed for that. So we'll be doing some coverage of that. And so just looking forward to talking about some Criterion titles this month. But again, thanks for the invite. Had a lot of fun and really had fun with everybody, Mike.
La Bamba is so good. I have that Criterion as well. That's a great movie. I love the music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's go to our runner-up here, Mockbuster. You gave it a valiant fight right there. You were so close.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? What do you got upcoming?
Well, I am at the Mockbuster, YouTube. I was gonna say Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all your favorite social medias. It's the Mockbuster. I do basically everything: hunting videos, Blu-ray reviews, that kind of thing. I'm thinking about doing the 4K reviews for the new Cameron releases. Now that the tension has died down, I want to give it like a critical look at it right now. Now that everyone has like calmed down about it, so yeah, the Mockbuster on YouTube. If you're into that stuff, I'm Canadian, so I'm Canadian, so that's I guess makes it a little different. So the hunting videos are different than others, so because of that reason. So.
All right, and then up to Steve.
Yeah, so Excelsior Movie Reviews is my channel. I do a lot of Criterion videos. Really excited about the Barnes & Noble sale. I do a lot of ranking videos, a ton of ranking videos. Love doing those. I'm on the, you can find me on Instagram under Excelsior Movie Reviews, and also at Letterboxd under the Excelsior Movie Reviews as well. So I do a lot of movie out theater reactions and that kind of stuff, and a lot of digital code giveaways, and a lot of just fun stuff I do on my channel.
All right, and Johnny.
Oh, well, you guys can find me. I'm on What's Johnny Watching. I'm at YouTube, Instagram. I used to do TikTok a lot, but I don't know where that's going now. But tomorrow I'm going to be over on Bob's Blu-ray channel competing in his Hot Potato Game Night, which is going to be fun for everybody else because I'm not going to be any good at it. And my wife and I were going to be doing our first review together of Godzilla -1. I'm really excited about finally checking that out on Netflix. And yeah, I can't wait for the Criterion sale. I believe it's starting next month, I believe. So I'm not going to be picking up any other titles next month except for Criterion titles.
All right. And John?
PlatX2. Mike, thanks so much for inviting me on tonight. A lot of fun. PlatX2 on YouTube, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I do a lot of thrifting videos. I recently did some collections of some old classic film actors. My channel does a lot on that. Did a review and unboxing of a new Kino title that came out last week. So yeah, that's kind of what I got going on the channel right now.
And Nate?
First, I want to say, nice Suffocation shirt. I just saw that, Mockbuster.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. You can, the metalheads in the room. So yeah, specifically Blu-rays with Nathan Jones is my channel. And I just took a long hiatus, so I just came back actually this week, and I talked with a good friend KB, which I know a lot of you know, and talking about his hometown. So that's actually something I want to start doing, and all of you are invited to that too if you want to, hit me up and talk about where you came from and the movies that you were shaped by. Because of the environment. I'd love to hear more people's thoughts on that, but I do all sorts of Blu-ray things, but I'm just getting back into it. So specifically Blu-rays with Nathan Jones.
Yeah, definitely like to do that.
All right. And then for my channel, you guys all know me out there, but if you're just joining in, definitely go ahead and once again, drink up that like and subscribe. It's a delicious milkshake, of course, if you haven't already. But next stream for my channel, actually, I'm not too sure. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I do so many of these. Next week, we do have an animation recommendation stream with the Collectors Club. So we recommended some animation titles for the theme. We're going to watch them. We're going to score and review them, basically, and just have a fun time talking about them. So that will be next Friday, I believe. But then I do also have a Criterion pregame stream which will be coming up at the end of the month. And we're going to be talking about what Criterion titles we plan on picking up during the sale time, give some recommendations, and just have a fun time talking some more Criterion. So if you love Criterion, definitely want to turn on that notification bell for that. But that's pretty much it from me. Once again, another congratulations to James. I mean, from Huck, he said it better than anybody else. Congratulations, James. Must be that sexy beard that made you unstoppable tonight. So there, I couldn't have said it any better.
Well, thank you, Huck. I appreciate it.
But yeah, have a great night, everybody. Just a little shout out to my members, and have a good one, everyone. And thank you so much, my Mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.
You will earn more points if you split the room, and who creates the most divisive dimensions will win.
Why? How much can you know about yourself if you've never been in a fight?
Wait. What's left to hope for?
It's hard for a rat to find.
It wouldn't be so hard to find if you weren't so picky.
I drink your milkshake.
Do you think that's funny?